Skill 2 for the Chapter 1 test, Geometry 1. You should know how to find the distance between 2 points. So an example here. Find the distance between A, -1,7, and B, 5, -2. In order to find the distance, you need to use the distance formula. So the distance formula is distance equals the square root x2 minus x1 squared plus the quantity y2 minus y1 squared. Now in this case, x2, x1, y2, and y1, those are coming from the x and the y coordinates of the points given to you in the problem. So for example, the x value here of the first point will go in for x1, and the y value of the first point will go in for y1. The second point, the x value is x2, and the y value is y2. It always goes xy, xy, because every point, the coordinates have both an x and a y. Now what you do is you plug them in. So the square root, don't forget the square root symbol, it's one of the most common mistakes here. The quantity, x2 minus x1. Well, here's x2, that's 5, minus x1. x1 is -1. So we need parentheses around the whole thing, squared. Plus the quantity, y2 minus y1. Well, here's y2, that's -2, minus y1, 7, squared. Square root symbol over the whole thing. Now following the order of operations, we do what's inside the parentheses first. So 5 minus -1. That's really the same thing as 5 plus 1, which is 6 squared, plus -2 minus 7. That's -9 squared. Now the parentheses here aren't completely necessary around the 6, but they are necessary around the -9 because we're squaring -9. Now next, for the order of operations, we did the parentheses. Next come the exponents. So 6 squared is 36 plus -9 squared. That means -9 times -9, which is 81. Now the square root symbol is still here following us along. We add the 36 plus the 81. So let's see here, 6 plus 1 is 7, 8 plus 3 is 11, 117. Now you could stop the answer there and say the square root of 117, but you have to go back and look at the directions. Does it say to write your answer as a decimal or as a square root? Well, it depends. That answer is acceptable depending on the way the question's asked. You might also be able to write it as the square root of 117, which is approximately 10.8. Now when you say approximately, your equal sign actually turns into a squiggly equal sign. For approximate, this is rounded. It's actually, the calculator shows 10.81665383, which is still an estimate, a rounded number, but we rounded to 10.8 for the simplicity. So anytime your problem says, find the distance, right here, you need to use the distance formula at the very top.